5 reasons why bankruptcy might be a bad idea for you. Number 1, you have assets that you actually want to keep. Bankruptcy is one of the most financial powerful tools available, especially a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It can erase almost all of your unsecured debt. That's going to be credit cards, medical bills, payday loans, personal loans, lawsuits, all that kind of stuff. And in most cases, you get to keep your home, your car, your household goods and furnishings, your retirement accounts. All of those things are usually protected, and that's huge. But here's where it's important to go in with eyes wide open. Chapter 7 is technically called a liquidation bankruptcy. And that means the bankruptcy court looks at whether you own anything valuable beyond what your state allows you to protect. These protections are called exemptions, and they cover the essential things like a modest car, some furniture, clothing, wedding rings, some equity in your home, your jewelry. But if you own something outside of those categories, like a paid-off boat, a second vehicle, a collection of rare guitars, there's a chance that a bankruptcy trustee would want to take those things away from you, sell them, and use the money to pay back your creditors. That doesn't mean that Chapter 7 bankruptcy is a bad idea. It just means that you want to plan ahead if you've got valuable assets that you want to keep. You're going to need a good bankruptcy attorney who can walk you through your options here. Sometimes this means filing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which gives you time to pay off some of your debt without giving up your property. You got to know what's protected, what's not protected, and how to use the system to your advantage. That's not a reason to avoid bankruptcy. It's a reason to get expert advice before you file so you can come out of bankruptcy on the other side stronger than ever. Number 2, you've moved things around to get ready, right? You've changed title of a car, you've put a house in somebody else's name. When people start thinking about bankruptcy, their instincts often kick in and they want to protect what they've got, so they move things around. They might transfer a car to their kid who's already been driving it, or they take their name off the title to a property that is owned with siblings or something, or they give away something valuable just in case, right? I understand that it feels smart in the moment to do that, but it can actually create some pretty big problems if you are going to file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy law has clear rules about something called fraudulent transfers. That's when you give away an asset or you transfer ownership to somebody else without getting fair market value in return. Even if your intention was honest and you weren't trying to hide anything, the court may still reverse the transaction or unwind it. For example, if you just give your kid the title of a car 6 months before you file bankruptcy, a bankruptcy trustee could contact your child and say they want the car back. This can lead to stress, embarrassment, legal trouble for you or both of you. The goal of bankruptcy here is to treat all creditors equally and fairly. So if the court thinks you gave something away to avoid having it used to pay off your debt, they can step in. And they do. It's pretty standard. They have the power to undo the transfer, seize the asset, and include it in your case, right? This does not mean that bankruptcy is a bad idea. It means timing and transparency matter. It means do not go run out and do the things your brain is telling you to do before you talk to a bankruptcy lawyer, because the best move is to talk to a bankruptcy attorney before shifting anything around. A good attorney will help you understand what's safe, what's risky, how to move forward without raising red flags. Most of the time, the damage can be avoided simply by waiting the right amount of time or choosing a different type of bankruptcy that protects more of your property. You don't need to outsmart the system. You just need somebody who knows how to use the system the right way. That's what we're talking about here. Number 3, you just paid back a friend or family member. This one catches a lot of people off guard. I deal with this one a lot, especially around tax refund time. Let's say you borrowed money from your mother last year to get you through Christmas, and you're about to file for bankruptcy, and you don't want to put your mom in your bankruptcy, and so you pay your mom back out of the tax refund that you just got, and everything's copacetic, right? It seems like the right thing to do. But under bankruptcy law, it can actually cause problems, because bankruptcy is, again, designed to treat creditors equally. That means you cannot favor one person over the other. And if you pay back a friend or a family member in the year before filing a bankruptcy, the court may call that a preferential payment. The trustee can demand that your friend or relative return the money so it can be split more evenly amongst all of your creditors, right? You will have been out the money and they didn't even get the benefit of receiving it because they got to hand it back in. This is true for regular creditors too. If you paid more than $600 to a credit card company or your dentist within the 90 days before filing, that payment is clawed back because even your creditors aren't allowed to get more than what the rest of your creditors are getting. No one wants the trustee calling their mom or their cousin and asking for money. That can lead to strained relationships and unnecessary stress. And here's the good news. If you meet with a bankruptcy attorney early, you can avoid this completely. They may recommend waiting a bit before filing, or they may suggest a different chapter that will not trigger these kinds of problems for you. But ironically, bankruptcy is still probably one of the best options. But like anything else, it works better when you have a strategy and you have somebody who knows how to handle it. Right? Number 4, your debt was tied to fraud. Oof. Most debt goes away in bankruptcy. If you get behind on credit cards or medical bills or personal loans, those debts are going to go away in a bankruptcy, usually without any issue. But if any part of your debt is tied to fraud or purposeful, intentional behavior, that can change things. Fraud in this context does not mean you were just trying to scam somebody. The law has very specific definitions, and creditors have the right to challenge your case if they believe a debt was incurred dishonestly. They can file what's called an adversary proceeding, which is basically a lawsuit inside your bankruptcy. And if your bankruptcy court agrees that fraud occurred, that debt becomes non-dischargeable. That means you will still owe it after bankruptcy and the creditor can continue to collect. Fraud cases are rare and they're hard to prove. And I want to make it clear that just falling behind on your debt does not count as fraud. But if, for example, someone runs up charges on a credit card knowing they're about to file for bankruptcy, or they take out a loan without the intent to pay it back, that creditor could raise a challenge if they can prove that. Even if you are confident your debt was not fraudulent, it's still a good idea to talk it through with an attorney. Number 5, you don't actually need to file for bankruptcy. Woo! This one surprises people, right? Because not everyone in debt actually needs to file for bankruptcy. In some cases, the consequences outweigh the benefits. For example, if you have very little income, you have no major assets, and your creditors are not actively suing you or garnishing your wages, bankruptcy might not help very much in this moment, and you need to prioritize your resources accordingly. You may already be what is called judgment proof, meaning even if a creditor got a court order against you, they would have no way to collect it. You don't have paychecks to garnish, you don't have bank accounts, you don't have real estate to take. If you are uncollectible, you have time, and time is a good thing. Maybe most of your debt's not even dischargeable. Bankruptcy is not going to eliminate things like recent tax debt, child support, alimony, and most student loans. If these are your biggest burdens, filing bankruptcy is not going to give you very much relief, right? So here's the other issue. Bankruptcy costs money. Between court filing fees and attorney costs, you're likely looking at around $2,000 or more, probably more. I mean, that's a smart investment if you're getting a fresh start and wiping out tens of thousands in debt. But if you're not getting much in return, if all you've got are student loans and one credit card with a $3,000 balance, this isn't going to help you, right? It may not make sense to you if you don't have enough debt or if you're judgment proof. That doesn't mean that bankruptcy is a bad option overall. It just means it's not always the right tool for the job, or the timing may not be correct, right? And this is why, again, it is so important to talk to a bankruptcy attorney before making any moves. A good bankruptcy attorney will not pressure you to file. In fact, they will often be the first to tell you when bankruptcy is not worth it, when it's not right for you. And they should help you come up with a better plan instead. So Evergreen Financial Counseling cannot tell you whether or not a bankruptcy is the right option for your situation. That decision is between you and your attorney. But what Evergreen can do is help you explore your options. Our nonprofit is approved by the U.S. Department of Justice to offer the required credit counseling course, which is designed to walk you through your financial picture and to give you a clearer understanding of what bankruptcy would and would not do for you. Whether you decide to file bankruptcy or not, this course is the first step in making an informed decision. It's not really about judgment, it's about clarity. When the time is right and the fit is right, bankruptcy can change your life. But when it's not the right time, sometimes doing nothing or simply just getting more information is the smartest move of all.